how you can help reduce and or prevent hot flashes naturally. So hot flashes are something that close to 80% of women experience during the period of life transition that we know as menopause, which can include perimenopause, which can start around 35, 40 years old, through menopause and well into post-menopause. Some women can experience hot flashes for 10 or 12 years. Some women never experience a hot flash, but most women do for some period of time. And they can be mildly inconvenient to debilitating, depending on the woman, depending on her body and her lifestyle, her level of health, lots of different things. But there are some things that we can do to naturally reduce the instance and duration and intensity of hot flashes. So today I'm going to talk about 5 things that you could do to start reducing your hot flashes. And the number 1 tip is to stay cool, keep cool. Now that sounds obvious, but there are a lot of ways that are not obvious to keep yourself cool. Besides the obvious tips of, dressing in layers so that you can take layers off and put them on when you're having hot flashes or when you're not. Besides keeping the heat down in your house and in your office, or keeping a fan next to your bed or next to your desk, or even using a freezer pack, an ice pack to put on your neck, or even put on your legs, between your legs when you're having a really intense hot flash. Besides all of those more physical ways of keeping cool, there are some other ways that you can keep cool too. And probably the most important way to keep cool and help reduce your hot flashes is to keep hydrated. Now, a lot of women, a lot of people in general are chronically dehydrated and don't necessarily even know it. So making sure to have proper hydration with pure, clean water is the number 1 tip that I can give you. If you don't like drinking water, or you have a hard time drinking as much water as you should, flavoring it with a squeeze of fresh lemon juice or lime juice, or cucumber slices, or even a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. These are all things that can help to flavor the water and are also really good for you in various ways as well. So keeping hydrated with water, you can also keep cool and hydrated with herbal teas, especially if you use cooling herbs. Now, herbs have their own properties, and some of them are warming and some of them are cooling. And some of the cooling herbs that you can use to help with hot flashes are chickweed, elderflower, viola, oat straw, many of the mints like peppermint, spearmint, lemon balm is also a mint, mallow, particularly marshmallow root and leaf, and hibiscus. And combining some of these into a really tasty tea can help cool your body internally from the inside out. So keeping cool is tip number 1. Tip number 2 is to nourish your liver. And I've talked about this before. It's really, really important when we are going through these sorts of changes like perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause, when our hormones are changing, It's really important to nourish our livers because all of these hormones that we have in our bodies are metabolized by the liver. And when we are experiencing symptoms such as hot flashes, it could also be symptoms like brain fog, it could be insomnia, it could be vaginal dryness, it could be weight gain around the belly. When we're experiencing these kinds of symptoms, it can be a really good indicator that our liver is having a hard time metabolizing our hormones. And so nourishing the liver is really, really crucial. And some good ways to nourish the liver are using herbs like dandelion, burdock, nettle or stinging nettle, yellow dock, milk thistle, and chicory. Those are all really, really excellent liver nourishing herbs. And so tip number 3 is to supplement. Hot flashes deplete certain nutrients in your body. Hot flashes can deplete vitamins B and C. It can deplete magnesium and potassium. And one way to supplement to replace these nutrients that are being lost through hot flashes is by using herbal teas of herbs that include those nutrients. And some herbs that do that are red clover and oat straw. So taking those teas in, especially if you steep them for a really long time. If you steep your tea, like most people do, for 2 minutes, and then you take the tea bag out or you take the tea ball out, that's a nice beverage tea, but you're not getting a lot of the benefits of those herbs that you could be getting if you allowed that tea to steep for a longer period of time. So for most purposes, I generally recommend people steep their tea for at least 15 to 20 minutes to get a good medicinal tea. So red clover and oat straw have a good, well-steeped 20-minute steeping time tea to help replace those nutrients. You could also consider supplementing with vitamin E and selenium. Those are another 2 nutrients that can help to reduce hot flashes. So number 4 tip is moving your body. And I've talked about this before too, and moving your body, it can help with most of the symptoms that we can experience during this phase of our lives. But studies have actually shown that as little as 20 minutes of exercise 3 times a week can dramatically reduce hot flashes. So that's not a lot of time, and it doesn't have to be high intensity exercise. It can be 20 minutes of walking 3 times a week. It can be yoga. It can be dancing. It can be running. It can be whatever it is that your body loves to do. But it's really important to move your body consistently and regularly. And studies have actually shown that this can help to reduce. And one caveat that I want to say here is that a lot of times women in this phase of life think that they need to be exercising more because maybe it's harder to get rid of that weight around your belly. They are experiencing some weight gain, and so they feel like they need to exercise more. And that's not the case when we are in this phase of life. We just need to exercise differently, not necessarily more. So focusing on the more gentle, nourishing types of exercise and moving your body in more natural ways more often is much more important than the intensity and the long duration that a lot of women think that they need at this time. Weight-bearing exercise and gentle movement are really key to helping to balance hormones and reducing these sorts of symptoms. And so the fifth tip that I want to talk about is homeopathic remedies. Try out homeopathy. It's extremely safe. They don't have side effects. If you choose the wrong remedy, it's just not going to work for you. But it is much more effective to work with a homeopath who can choose the remedy that is specific to the way that you experience your symptoms. Like I said earlier, some women have very minor, short hot flashes. Some women experience dozens of hot flashes every day, and they last for minutes at a time, and they're debilitating. And so those two women that I just described would get different homeopathic remedies because it's expressing differently in them. However, homeopathic remedies are available usually at any health food store, and they're very affordable, and they can be very effective if you get the right remedy. Some of the top homeopathic remedies for hot flashes are lechisis and sepia, pulsatilla, valeriana, sanguinaria, and belladonna. And again, they each have slightly different keynotes, but they have been used for hundreds of years very effectively for reducing symptoms of hot flashes during the menopausal phase, which includes, again, perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause. So those are my 5 top tips. Number 1, keep cool. Number 2, nourish your liver. Number 3, supplement. Number 4, move your body. And number 5, try homeopathy. So I am hoping that some of those tips might be really helpful and useful to you. If you have any questions about them, let me know. Post in the comments, and I'm going to come back and look and see if there are any questions or comments. If you have a great tip for reducing hot flashes, let us know. Write it in the comments. I'd love to know. I'd love for you to share your experiences. And I also want to remind you that my masterclass, the first one is tomorrow, Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific, and I'm going to repeat it on Saturday, October 2nd at 9 a.m. Pacific. And I'm not going to be live streaming this masterclass into this group. We're going to be doing it on Zoom only. So if you want to attend or get the recording of that, make sure to sign up officially at the registration page. I'm going to put the link below this video, and we're going to be talking a lot more about many other symptoms and giving many tools and techniques for helping you to navigate this entire phase of life naturally and with ease and joy, so that you can really make this phase of life your most powerful and impactful, and be able to feel healthy and in the flow of wellness, and to follow your dreams and passions. So hopefully I will see you at the masterclass, and have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon.